I'm Joshua's father. You may remember that Joshua's law mandates that all 16-year-olds take driver's education before obtaining their driver's license. And in doing so, we created its own funding mechanism because we want it to be in all the public schools for free. So we added 5% surcharge to any and all traffic violations in Georgia. Since 2005, in the years it has been in effect, it has generated $92 million. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? The problem is the state has only given the schools $8 million and put the rest of it in their general fund and used it for whatever they saw fit. I think that's a crime. I think if that was in the private sector, somebody'd go to jail. Redirecting that money is just one more reason we got to have somebody in the House of Representatives and more importantly the state Senate to stand up and say that's not right. Somebody with the will. And today I have the privilege of introducing to you my good buddy Matt Laughridge. But before I do so, I'd like to say just a few other things. After losing my son Joshua in a single car wreck in 2003, I became a father to all our children. And I took on the responsibility of keeping them all safe. That was my goal. Every time I hear of a young adult passing in a car crash, I literally get sick to my stomach. I don't know what else to do. I don't know how else we can fix this except change the leadership and hold people accountable and operate transparent and make the law do what the law says. You know, when lawmakers don't follow their own laws, there's a problem. Don't you think? Our great state has many, many problems, as y'all know. We are 49th in the country in education. If you read last week's AJC, it said that our state education budget is equal to what it was in 1984. The state has stolen $1 billion, that's with a B, from education to put in other funds. We have the worst traffic in America. Yet our leaders say we do not have a transportation problem. We have rail lines between Chattanooga, Atlanta, Macon, and on to Savannah rusting. A couple of 3 years back, Washington called our leadership and said, you have those rusting, we will supply you with high-speed trains so a person could literally live in Dalton and work in Savannah. Be there in 45 minutes. Our leadership said we do not have a transportation problem in Georgia. What happened? They picked up the phone, they called Charlotte. Charlotte now has high-speed rails running out in all different directions. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, some more left downtown Atlanta because they can't get their employees to and from work. And the rest is history. So what's going to happen in the future with that? I take our elections very, very serious, and I hope you do too, and I choose my candidates very carefully. Folks, this is a very critical election. We need a state senator to represent us, you and me, the people and our small businesses, our family businesses, and not represent any special interests. We need a person of very strong moral character and high integrity, and just as important than that, a strong will to stand up and do what's right. There is one such man among us, and I'm going to let you meet him in a few minutes. In fact, I claim him as one of my other boys. When I wrote and worked Joshua's Law at the state capitol in '05, Matt followed me around like a shadow. And it was really cool to see his face as things were, and he asked me 10,000 questions. So I knew right then Matt was destined. Matt has always been a leader. He graduated with distinction. He received a full 4-year scholarship to a Division I school. He holds a degree in business. He graduated from NCM E-Commerce Management in 2012. A short while back, Matt had the opportunity to go to New York and be a Wall Street executive. What did he do? He said, no, Cartersville's my home. I want to stay in the community. So he stayed here and he purchased, and I want to emphasize, purchased 20% of the family business. That's amazing for a young man. Yet, Matt remains very humble, very grounded, and I could go on and on and on about Matt. Let me end by saying I really love my country. I love my state. I love my district. I love my county, and I love this city. This is home to all of us. Not since I was 22 years old have I ever endorsed and supported a candidate. But I'm so excited and honored to introduce to you our next state senator, Matt Laughridge.
Thank you, Alan. Wow, can't believe this is an amazing turnout, and I'm so happy that everyone's here. Things get done better, quicker, and more efficient when we have friends that work together. But before I begin, I want to recognize two special people, my mom and dad. I'm here today. I'm here today because of the work ethics and values they've instilled in me. I also want to mention my family, Joe, who's studying in Chicago, and JT and Angela, who are here with my amazing niece and nephew, Olivia and Wyatt. People have often asked me, why did I jump into the special election? Well, I'm going to tell you why I'm running. I'm running for a good friend of mine, Charlie, who's a Vietnam fighter pilot, and he has values that need to be protected. I'm running for my friends in the education field, such as Miss Tan Downer. They give them the freedom so they can protect the education of our young kids. I'm also running for every small business man and woman, such as Hal here at Ross's Diner. Yeah, thank you, Ross, for their livelihood from unnecessary regulation. So my campaign is based on how our country was founded: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And the issues that have brought me to today is the economy, government reform, and education. So let me talk about the economy first. As your next senator from District 14, I'll work for an advantageous framework for businesses to grow and succeed by having a pro-business model. What I mean is celebration of innovation and creativity to allow everyone to succeed. I'll work for responsible tax reform, meaning not allowing from unnecessary taxes for frivolous spending. When we have responsible tax reform, it affords the opportunity to encourage business people to invest in Georgians to grow and to succeed. Another issue I'll champion is government reform. I'll work hard to be a true liaison for the citizens here in District 14 by having my votes in Atlanta be completely transparent. As your next senator, it will be my duty to protect you, your family, and your values. At the Capitol, I will look at issues like unnecessary regulation that burden the good people of District 14, and I'll work hard to protect our amendments from the freedom of speech to the right to bear arms. My concern is an increased strain on protecting our rights given to us by our founding fathers. Now let me talk to you about my passion, which is education. It concerns me as a businessman who hires Georgia's best and brightest that were ranked 49th and 47th consecutively in Georgia in education. We're shortchanging our kids' future by being in this position. Teachers tell me all the time they need the freedom to teach to the classroom, not at the classroom, letting the flow of our culture create a positive learning environment versus teaching to the test. When I look at Olivia and Wyatt, they learn differently. One is a visual learner, one is a verbal learner. But they need the same opportunities that only a teacher can give, not a government standard. As your next senator, I'll be on the forefront of the discussions for education, its budget, and educational quality. I don't make campaign promises that I cannot keep, but I can promise you this. I will work harder and more diligently than anybody. I have the time, I have the enthusiasm, and I have the desire to get the job done. A new voice of experience, protecting our values. This is not just a campaign slogan. Yes, I'm probably a new voice to some of you, but for most that know me very well know that I have been working for Georgia and fighting for Georgia in Washington for several years now. People often ask me, what can you do for me? And my answer is this: in politics, as in business, I will maintain and keep an open door policy. I can get the things that need to be done, and I'll be our voice in the Georgia Senate. I want to thank everybody here for being here with me today. It's been an exciting experience filing as a candidate. And I look forward to a spirited campaign on the issues. Thank you again, and I'll see you all on the campaign trail with me. And for those that don't know me, please go to Matt for Georgia. And thank you again for your attention. And thank you for being here.